Greetings, everyone. Well, I didn't realize just how long it had been since I'd last done an update video. Last one I did covered May 1st to 15th. Yeah, we got a little catching up to do. It is presently June 24th at the time of this recording, so that's what we're going to cover. May 16th to June 24th. Going to have to split this up into two updates because it's been like a month and a half. I've picked up a fair amount of stuff over the course of that period. So we'll split it in half. First up, comic books. There you go. Comic book update. May 15th to June 24th. Today on the Multimedia Chronicles. Welcome back. Okay, so we'll just start off with a couple that I actually covered in Timey-Wimey Tuesday last week. Just for those of you who don't watch those, I'll just throw it in here real quick for completion's sake. Picked up the third issue of the Fourth Doctor Adventures. Very good. It is a mini-series, apparently. I think it's going to be 5 or 6 issues. Not entirely sure. And then picked up the hardcover edition of Four Doctors, which is a multi-doctor story featuring the 10th, 11th, and 12th Doctor, and a special appearance by the War Doctor as well. So very cool for Doctor Who fans. I'm going to do an in-depth review of this one in the relatively near future. I'm just going to move the camera over a tad. I just realized I'm not quite seeing... There we go. Alright. Okay, so carrying on. Start off with some of my, ongoing regular titles here. We, of course, have issue number 15 of Gem and the Holograms, that features part 5 of the Dark Gem storyline. And this one, Silica, the evil counterpart to Synergy, is basically working with her band, The Sickness, to essentially brainwash the masses and get them to do whatever she wants for her evil bidding. Yeah, so pretty cool stuff. So we got Gem and the Holograms, we got the Misfits, we got the Sickness, and apparently the Stingers are going to be appearing in a few months' time. So a few issues away still, but it has been officially announced that the Stingers will be in the comic. And then next up we have Invader Zim, issue number 10. I actually just picked this up. I haven't even read it yet. So good stuff. Dark Gem is 6 parts, by the way. There's one more issue to go. And then they'll be on to something new. And then next up we bid a bittersweet farewell to Big Trouble in Little China with issue number 25. This is the final issue. It's actually a double-sized issue. And something kind of cool in the back here, as a bonus, they have a cover gallery of every single cover, regular and alternate, for all 25 issues. And it goes on for several pages. Just small versions of them, but, it's a beautiful glossy paper, so it's sufficiently detailed that you can basically see everything. So pretty cool stuff. So this is interesting. I still have to read issue 24, but basically my understanding is this is actually a revisiting of the events from the movie, but they kind of go back in time and they're revisiting it from a different perspective. So kind of interesting. So you get to see a lot of familiar events in a new way. And this also features every single artist who has ever worked on the series doing several pages of the artwork in there, so that's pretty cool as well. So definitely an epic send-off for what has been a really fun series. Volume 3 of the trade paperback is out now, by the way. That covers up to issue 12. I'll probably pick those up just to have some nice easy to access reading copies without having to bust out my originals all the time. So pretty cool stuff. Let's see, what else do we have here? Oh, and then we picked up issue number 2 of the Micronauts. oh, look at that, they're so tiny and they're being menaced by a big gigantic dog. Yeah, let me just say something about this. At the moment I got kind of mixed feelings about the Micronauts. I was really excited to find out they were doing a new one, but I'm kind of iffy on where the story's going. To be honest, it's not really grabbing me like the original did. But I'm still willing to give it a few more issues before I say yay or nay. But the one thing that's kind of annoying me is, as novel as these covers are, with the Micronauts. I mean, if you've read the original comics, you know the Micronauts are small. They're basically, in real life, they're as small as their action figures. But they're, living beings. So in the original comic, they come to Earth, and of course everything is gigantic compared to them, so they've got, that size difference to contend with. And that was the whole idea, was they're from the microverse where everything's smaller. So the covers seem to suggest that that's where this series is going as well. However, thus far they have not gone to Earth at all, and there is no indication that they are small beings whatsoever. I don't know if they're going to do that, but the thing that's bugging me about it is the covers have been like this, where they show them small in a huge environment, yet we're not seeing that in the comics. And this cover has absolutely nothing to do with anything that happens in that issue. And this isn't, I mean, that'd be fine if it was an alternate cover, but this is the main cover. Like, these are the main covers that the majority of people will see, and to me that's just really misleading. I mean, you put something like that, like a novel cover like that, as an alternate cover. I mean, generally speaking, call me crazy, I thought your cover was supposed to have something to do with the story. I mean, come on, let's get it together here. But and then again, I'm kind of torn because I actually really like these covers. It just annoys me that they have nothing to do with the story. So that's my little rant about Micronauts. Not quite sure where they're going with it. We'll give it a few more issues and see what happens. The fan response that I've seen thus far has actually been pretty negative. People don't seem to be liking it too much, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. I have a feeling ROM is going to do a lot better as far as the revivals go. What I've read so far of ROM with the free comic book day issue that Sci-Fi Guy 68 sent me. Thank you again, dude. Really appreciate that. I read that like immediately as soon as I finished the video. And from what I've seen on that, definitely looks more promising. Like, it feels much more like a modernized update of the old school ROM that we know. So I'm really looking forward to that. All right, speaking of updates to old school stuff that we know, this is an interesting batch of comics here. So DC is, of course, owned by Warner Brothers, and Warner Brothers also owns the Hanna-Barbera library. And as an interesting project, they decided to bring back some of their favorite characters from the heyday of Hanna-Barbera animation, but a very different take on these classic characters, and bringing them back in the form of several different comic books. I forget how many they're doing. I don't know if there's 3 for sure. I know because I got all of them, and I'm going to show them to you right now. There may be 1 or 2 more. I can't remember. I read an article about it like months ago when they first announced it, and I thought it looked really cool, and I wanted to check it out. And as soon as I saw them on the stands, I was like, oh yeah, I got to check this out. So first up, we have Scooby Apocalypse. Yeah, kind of interesting. A post-apocalyptic Scooby-Doo story, which is actually really freaking good. Like, if you just look at the artwork in this is beautiful. And it's a very different take on the familiar characters, but a lot of the familiar elements are there. Here we got Scooby and Shaggy. So Scooby's got this weird kind of cybernetic thing. In the story, he's basically part of an experiment in heightening the intelligence of dogs and such. And so there's other dogs in the program with him. He's actually considered the reject of the bunch, but Shaggy rescues him before he gets killed. And yeah, so it's definitely a sort of a darker, edgier kind of Scooby-Doo, but in a fun way. Like, I actually really like what they're doing with this, and I think they're taking it in some very interesting directions. The second issue just came out, so I picked that up as well. And if we just take a look here, yeah, so we can sort of see the whole gang there. Very cool. A lot of mystery and intrigue throughout. And if we go, where else we got here? Got some crazy monsters and stuff they got to deal with. Now, in this case, it's not, janitors in costumes. These are genuine mutated people in this post-apocalyptic world. And you can see that the mystery machine there is basically like an army, personnel carrier. Lots of high-tech gadgets in there, apparently, and stuff like that. So yeah, very different take on it, but hey, I mean the regular Scooby-Doo stuff has been done to death by this point. So why not? Why not do a fresh take on it? So I'm really liking this a lot. Rosie's actually collecting these as well. We've been buying them together as they come out, and both really enjoying them very much, because of course we both love us some Scooby-Doo. Next up, this one's pretty cool. Now, as far as revivals go, this one maintains the look and feel of the animated source material a lot more closely than some of the others in this revival series. We have Future Quest. Now, this one is just a freaking nostalgia trip. I mean, look at that. I bet you recognize just about all those characters there. So, yeah, so we got the, we got the Herculoids, we got Space Ghost, we got Birdman, Johnny Quest and the gang, of course, and a bunch of others that even I don't know, actually, but that I vaguely recognize. It's been so long since I've seen the cartoons. But yeah, I mean, this has pretty much everybody from the, 70s action-adventure cartoons that Hanna-Barbera did, and it's great. Really cool stuff. So I'm definitely liking this. I mean, this is basically like an Uber team up of all the action adventure characters that we just never would have seen in the in animated form. So we got Birdman there. Most of it features Johnny Quest and the gang, of course. We got in there more stuff about the DC Universe Rebirth, of course, which is going on right now, and then. What else? Yeah, and then Space Ghost shows up to cause some trouble at the end there. So, yeah, pretty cool. So definitely going to be collecting that. Now, last but most definitely not least, I saved this until last because this one is by far the most radical of the revivals of these classic concepts. Now, you guys remember the Wacky Races back in the day? You had Dick Dastardly and Muttley, Penelope Pitstop. What was it, Peter Perfect or whatever his name was, the Anthill Mob, all those guys, and it would always be these sort of wacky races across the desert or the Las Vegas or whatever, and they'd all be trying to do each other in to get the prize. Well, they've taken a very interesting approach to it this time with a series called Wacky Raceland, and check this out. They've basically done Wacky Races Mad Max style. Can you believe it? This just blows me away. I mean, once you get past the initial idea of the concept, I mean, okay, look, that's Dick Dastardly right there, and that's Muttley. Yeah, no snickering and wheezy laughing this time. So basically, this is, concept-wise, this is very much like the Wacky Races. The only difference is there's a lot more at stake in this. It's not just goofy, silly fun. It's, they're in a post-apocalyptic world, and the prize that they're competing for is this fabled utopia place, which basically will be, a much better place to live than living out in the wasteland. So here we see Penelope Pitstop. This is the Anthill Mob down here. They're all genetically cloned mutants and stuff like that. But I love the artwork in this. I mean, it is just freaking gorgeous. And here you see all the cars taken off for the next phase of the race and stuff like that. And I mean, there's lots of mystery and just strangeness to this whole thing. and as they're racing across this post-apocalyptic landscape, trying to survive the various perils of the landscape itself, and also trying to do each other in along the way. And it's just an absolute blast, I have to say. I mean, it is just high velocity action. There's humor. It's, you know, it's a little bit tongue in cheek, but also really really intense. And I'm just loving the artwork in this. I mean, it looks fantastic. And there you can see the gang there. And yeah, just amazing. Their cars are sentient as well. They have basically artificial intelligence-based vehicles, so their cars talk to them and stuff. And it's terrific. Yeah. So, Wacky Raceland. So the thing that, you know, the impression I get is that these are revivals for people like me, like my age, who grew up with these shows in the 70s and remember them. And want to have that same kind of sense of fun, but maybe something with a little bit more depth to it, and maybe a slightly different take. So honestly, thinking about it, having wacky races as like a Mad Max style, you know, fight to the death, actually kind of makes sense when you think about it, because that's basically what the cartoon was, just in a goofier kind of, you know, look and feel. But concept-wise, as radically different as this looks, concept-wise, it's still wacky races. I mean, all the core concepts are still there, fully intact. And the characters, even though they look differently and they're a little bit edgier, they're still recognizable as those characters. It's just a really... See, now this is interesting to me, because these are really unique and creative updates of these classic concepts. I mean, they've taken things... But the thing that just really kind of blows me away is they've taken these ideas and done such radically different takes on these characters and concepts, yet the core values of those concepts remain. They've somehow managed to keep it true to the original while being completely different at the same time. You know? And that just blows me away. Like, I am genuinely blown away by what they've done with these 3 series. And I will definitely be collecting them, because I think they're fantastic. And, you know, as a nostalgia trip and an update for grown-ups, I think they work phenomenally well. Yeah, so Scooby Apocalypse, Future Quest, and Wacky Raceland. I'm also a bit of a sucker for post-apocalyptic stuff anyway, so I love the fact that 2 of these are post-apocalyptic stories, so yeah, bring it on. Alrighty, that is it for the comic book updates, folks. Some pretty good stuff. Definitely enjoying what I've been seeing. I mean, these came along at the perfect time, because Big Trouble in Little China and Escape from New York just ended, so now I've got some other stuff I can collect. Awesome. Alrighty, quick thank you to my Patreon sponsors. Hey! Thanks, Patreon sponsors. Really appreciate the support. Especially big thanks to Get Your Gorgeous On and Kyle Pellegrini, my 2 highest level sponsors. Thank you very much, guys. Yeah, so I will see you tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. You see what I did there? For the Blu-ray and DVD update. Yeah, I got quite a stack of DVDs and Blu-rays this past 6 weeks. So we'll check all those out next time. Till then, thanks for watching, and sayonara.